Uplifting Momentum, the new template of abundance. Hey, you guys, this is your June 2025 energy update. And I'm Alysa Rushton, and this energy update has landed here just for you. So take a breath. If you are a starseed, an intuitive, a coach, a healer, a light leader, this energy update is just for you. This is not a collective reading, although I will touch on some collective themes here. But this energy update is really designed for you so that you can see the energies and the frequencies that you're here to really work with and move through this month of June. And I love this energy already in June, although we're going to have a lot of things come forward. So it's one of those times when you really do have to pick what side of the energy you're going to be on. So if this is your first energy update with me here, definitely pop a comment below, say hi. Let me welcome you to this ever-growing community of light leaders and light workers like you who are here to change the planet. You're here to bring in the new earth. And if you always come by for these energy updates, definitely pop a comment. Let me say hi. And I just want to thank you so much for being here at this pivotal time here on the planet. So as always, take a moment to tune in and tune into the numbers between this week, between 1 and 7. I think there's going to be 7 energies for you this week. So take a moment between 1 and 7 and see which energy or energies that you most resonate with. Pop it in the comments below. I love to see what you're attuning to. I love to see what you're resonating with. So take a beat, take a minute, check in, see what energies are yours for this month, and let's dive in. Also, I want to mention that I'm doing these energy updates a little bit differently, and I'm including new earth actions because I really do believe that we are here to bring in the new earth. And so I'm including after every energy a little new earth action that you can take. And this first energy of June is they showed me a breaking open of the shell, and they showed me a little shell cracking and then this beautiful bird coming out of the shell. And when I look at the energy of that, what it really means is that what feels like it's cracking in the 3D earth and the old world is cracking. It's literally cracking open to birth something more real and something more true. We have been cut off from ourselves as divine in physical form for as long as anybody on this planet can remember. And so in June, we start this cycle. Now, if you've been following me for a while, you know I've been talking about what's coming for a while. So this cycle is a planetary alignment. It's a sequence of events that's coming through in order to crack us open and crack more people open to be reborn into the truth of this earth, our history, and really why we're here on planet Earth. So you're going to see a tremendous amount of things come out. For example, you're going to see new evidence that Earth actually has a heartbeat. You're going to see new evidence that we are not alone in this galaxy. You're going to see new evidence that, the stories that we've all been told about creation, largely missing a lot of data. So you're going to see all of that start to come forward. And so as these things break down, it can feel like a cracking and a crumbling, but really, if you lock into this frequency, things are cracking open for the new to be born. I think that'll really serve you well. One of the things about these pivotal times that we are here to experience on the planet, and make no mistake, you chose to be here at this time to be a part of the shift, not to witness it, not to watch it, but to be a part of it, a part of creating this new. So you want to start to be thinking about what new things do I want to create? For me personally, I'm in the process of setting up something called a New Earth Coalition, which is a series of meetings for businesses to talk about what changes do we want to make and how do we influence that? How do we implement those things? How do we drive new sources of health-based tourism? How do we drive new sources of healthy products in our grocery stores? How do we say no to some of these old energies and put our business heft behind it? How do we form together as businesses and say, actually, no, here's what we're a stand for now? So this cracking open to be reborn and renewed is something that's very real on the collective, but it's also happening within each of us. So you might be feeling as if you're being cracked open in some sense. I've heard a lot of leaders like you talk about having some health issues. And what for me that feels like is a guidance to really go inward and ask, what do I need now? What was true for me then maybe isn't true for me now. And you're being asked to really look at your life in multiple ways, and your health, and your environment, and things you're contributing to, and ask, am I contributing to creating the new, or am I still stuck in this program of the old? So here's a new earth action for you. You want to take a look at what thing that you've been doing that you can let go of. What is it that's an outdated habit or program? One of the things that I think for the entire planet would be amazing is to remember that our energy, our intention, and our coding that comes out of our body is affecting everything. And if you've taken any of my classes or courses, you know I talk a lot about this with the divine DNA repatterning, that it all is a code that's generating from within us that goes outside of us. And so what that really means, though, is that the more intentional you are and the more intentional creating you are in alignment with divine source energy, the better outcomes you actually have. So one of the things that you could choose to let go of is unintentional creation. Being in your day where you're just like doing the task versus really being in the task. For example, even brushing your teeth or taking a shower. Most of us just do those habits on autopilot, where instead you could be in the shower and ask the frequency to uplift your entire frequency and cleanse you and clear you and supercharge your physical body and your energy body with the frequency of instantaneous healing or love. Okay, so really working with the fact that we can imprint actual subatomic particles that are in the air and the water. They're the most easily imprintable with your consciousness. So think about this month. What's one thing that you could stop doing that would actually help contribute you into this new earth? Energy number 2 is uplifting momentum. And this energy, I just love. It feels like a lot of momentum energy. In Hawaii, we just had this massive eruption that was lava 1,000 feet into the air, and it was all this new earth frequency momentum. And you're getting this rush forward of momentum energy. You're getting some planetary shifts to give you more momentum, more juice for that which you want. And I'm seeing this for many of you. You're being called into momentum with your businesses. You're having now this soul urge to do all the things, right? Create the content, go be of service, go find ways to give, and be in the frequency of this new version of you. You're in this massive momentum that's coming forward. And you're being really pushed to create new structures, new alignments, new ways of being in your community. Again, you want to take a look at how you can do that. Ask yourself questions like, what does my community actually need that I could provide or facilitate? Maybe it's just a gathering of friends or new friends. You know, more and more people are awakening. They're coming online to the fact that, oh my gosh, there's way more to this planet than I had ever imagined. And my intuitive gifts are coming online, and I'm having psychic dreams. So the more you are in your authenticity, in your truth, in that frequency of being uplifted into the momentum and being an example of that, the more you can be of service to other people. Getting out of the old frequency of people will think that's weird and I'm not, who am I to talk about that stuff? And instead into the frequency of, no, the earth is actually changing. This is what I came for, and I am here to help support and facilitate the change. Now, along with this momentum, I do think you're going to see this month eruptions. with all of this momentum. It's fast moving energy, explosive energy, volcanic energy. And we've been having this for a while, but I actually think the earth is going to give it to us a little bit more. So I think on a collective scale, you'll see more of this eruptive energy. And so whenever we have eruptive energy, you also want to be really mindful not to engage in eruptive battles with people. Instead, you can just be a stand for the energy frequency that you're holding of New Earth. And you can be a stand for the energy of, hey, things are really changing. Now we get to choose, do things change for the negative or do things change for the positive? We always have two choices we can make on the timelines, and your energy is actively going into creating and collapsing timelines. Let me say that again. Your energy is actively going into creating and collapsing timelines. So remember that the more you are into any sort of doomsday stuff or things not working out, that's energy going to creating that timeline and collapsing New Earth timeline. You literally get to choose which timeline you are on. You literally get to pull or put your energy into that which you want to create. And now is a beautiful time to just do that, like your life depends on it almost, because the more people we have energizing this new frequency, the more it shifts the timeline for the collective. Remember that we're always on this sort of balancing scale. And so just as in, if you had guests over at your house and there was a really angry person, but everybody else is feeling very happy, it's going to tip that person over. It's going to tip that person into having a joyful time. Versus if you had most of the people at your house be angry, it would tip even the most joyful person into anger mode. So you get to decide where you want to shift your frequency and where you can lock in and truly hold something that's new, something that you're creating. Here's your New Earth action. What's one thing that you could start doing? Are you going to form a group? Are you going to start inviting friends over for breakfast? Like, let's say that you just cooked a batch of porridge, or you made some acai bowls and you invited 4 friends over to enjoy this nourishing food, and you blessed the food and you talked about that which you wanted to create. The most simple actions like that are helping form new communities are going to be so important and so fortifying for you as you're on this awakening and expansion journey. The next energy, number 3, is 5D vibrational values rising. So we have been in a time and space where 3D values of success at any cost, domination at any cost, and control at any cost have been the most common frequencies on our planet. And they have been completely cut off from the heart. It's all about the head. It's all about winning, competition, power. How much can I get? And now you're having 5D vibrational values start to be on the rise. This means success looks very different. It feels very different. It's based on heart openness. It's based on soul satisfaction. It's based on a true abundance, which has nothing to do with your bank account. And actually, it's a frequency that you run, that everything that you need is given to you as or before you need it in abundant amounts. Okay, so we are having this big shift of 5D vibrational values, which also means that people, even the ones that you don't suspect, the ones, they're still watching commercials on TV. Okay, those folks are feeling, seeing, sensing frequency. They're even having conversations about it now, if you can believe it. And so it's a frequency first. People are seeing, feeling, sensing frequency, and they're feeling something's really off kilter or unkilter. So one of the things that you can do in your own energy system with this is really take time every day to attune your frequency, first and foremost to your heart, because people feel your heart, and your heart through the law of thought transference and mirror neurons, you actually transmit a feeling of confidence or not confidence to people. You actually transmit this whole entire frequency set. And so you are the one who's in charge of that. You are the one who gets to manage that. One of the things I teach in the Divine Light Energy Healers Academy and some of my other groups is to be a vessel for divine light energy to run in and through your body. And I like to say, divine light energy, thank you for using me as a vessel. Run through my hands, my heart, my voice, my eyes. Let everything around me be felt and seen and known as the divine. So when you do this, you're working in collaboration with the energy fields, which, is difficult because we can't necessarily see it and feel it, but it is there at the subatomic particle level. And you get to direct this energy to where you'd like it to go. And you get to be a channel and a conduit and a vehicle, a vessel for bringing through this divine light energy in and through your body. And I can tell you personally, when you do this on the daily, your frequency changes, your vibration changes, who you attract and what you attract into your world actually changes as well. So here's your new earth action. Think about something this week that you might react to. Okay. And instead, you're going to react as if you are God in a body, as if you are divine in a body. So not from the ego self at all, but from divine source energy, just channeling through you. When you practice doing this, you're going to love it. And you're probably already doing this. You're probably already using your body as a conduit for divine source energy. But this week, a new earth action is to do it even more and be even more intentional about when and how you're doing it. Let's talk about energy number 4, and this is frequency sovereignty. And so, this has been something actually the last tail end of May it started. And so no matter what is going on in the outside world or even in your world, you're being given situations and circumstances to hold your frequency no matter what. Okay. Now that's not as easy as it sounds. When someone in your world is behaving in a way that is triggering, or maybe your health is behaving in a way that's triggering you. Or maybe it's your finances are behaving in a way that's triggering you. Or maybe something's happening in the outside world. You're being asked to hold your frequency. New earth frequencies are those of unconditional love, non-judgmental compassion, infinite abundance, instantaneous healing. These are new earth frequencies. Now, we're not steeped in those. We're learning how to hold those. We know how to hold the old frequencies of scarcity, fear, and lack, and doubt, and all that other stuff, frustration. Oh my gosh, we know how to do that. So you're learning now how to hold something different. So instead of frustration, what is it that you hold? You hold openness and possibilities. Instead of lack and scarcity, what do you hold? The frequency of instantaneous, infinite abundance coming down on you and flowing into your life. Instead of feeling scared about not healing, what do? You hold the frequency of instantaneous healing. So it takes a little practice to work with these energies, and you might be given some situations and circumstances to work through this and hold it. It's your muscle building class. This is where you go get into the gym and you're building your muscles, okay? But here's the thing. Do not let your outer world sway you. One of the tools that I use is I just tell myself, this outside world, it's not really all that real. It's a video game. It's a simulation. I'm learning how to do this stuff. I'm teaching myself that. And so I'm not going to take my movie so seriously. I'm going to instead attune myself in here and let the outer world catch up. Okay, so you create your reality from the inside, and we also create it collectively too. It's like 8 billion people projecting on the movie screen. So one of the things that you want to be mindful of is in those situations and circumstances that are trying to pull you into the old frequency, how can you be over here instead? One of the best tips I can give you is acknowledge the frequency, whatever it is: frustration, fear, doubt, lack, limitation, doesn't matter. Just look at it and say, hi, I see you. I see you. I know how to run that frequency. Thank you so much for being here. And guess what? I am actually working on something really different. And I instead am going to work on holding the frequency of instantaneous healing, or infinite abundance, or joy and peace and ease, no matter what. So you can be here all you want, but I'm actually teaching myself how to run new neurological pathways in my brain that haven't been available to me before. And it is a practice. It is a process. Whenever we're unlearning how to do something, for example, I used to be a 2-pack-a-day cigarette smoker, if you can believe it. When I quit, it's not like I was just all of a sudden not going to have cigarette cravings. Of course, I'm going to have cravings for something that I'm addicted to. And we get like that through fear, scarcity, lack, doubt, limitation. We've been neurologically conditioned to be addicted to those thought patterns. And so now is our chance to be like,